I would love to see somebody step up, and the likely candidate is Miami, because what I hate about the ACC is that we know what the script is. The script has been the same every year since 2012. Whoever wins the Florida State-Clemson game wins the division, therefore trashes the other team in the championship game. Although North Carolina and Virginia Tech gave them a game, it was never really in doubt. We knew who was going to win and move on to the college football playoff. I would love to see a little bit of difference there, a change in the championship structure in the ACC, and Miami's the likely candidate to do that. Just to put a little perspective on Mark Richt's downslide, and I know that you know this, 10-3, 10-3 were his last two seasons at Georgia. So that was the downslide, 10-3, 10-3. And if his team can somehow get 4 more yards or 1 more playoff because of the issue with the clock at the end of the game against Alabama in the SEC championship game in 2012, he most likely demolishes Notre Dame in the championship game. And the narrative on his career at Georgia is completely different if he's got a national championship from the national perspective and national media.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing, and that's very true. Where he backslid to 10-3 for 2 years, and just like you said, that 2012 season with that game against Alabama in the SEC championship game. But yeah, things are cyclical, and it just works like that in college football. If you look back to 2009 in the Atlantic Coast Conference, you had 4 teams. You had probably Miami, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, and I forget who the other one was, but on the coastal side, who probably would have beaten the Atlantic Coast champion, or the Atlantic Division champion. Obviously Miami didn't get there. That was one of those 4-4 years. So, they just kind of went by the last tiebreaker. But you had multiple teams who would have beaten whoever was the champion of the Atlantic Division there. And obviously it's changed in the last 8 years where the Atlantic has that. But, obviously balancing out the conference with Miami on the one side is what the ACC was looking for when they brought Miami in all those years ago, that hopefully we can bring to fruition. And then, it would just be a good thing for college football. And there's so many people have said this. College football is better when Miami's good. It's the same thing with USC. USC was down for a little bit, and they're down with 7-5, but still, college football is better when those traditional programs are good. I'm from Michigan. This is a picture of the big house over my head. It is better when Michigan is good for college football. And Miami is one of those legacy programs. No, it's not as long tenured a legacy as the University of Michigan or anything of that nature, not a Notre Dame length of legacy program. But this is one of the blue blood programs over the last 40 years. And everything in college football is better when Miami is good. And that's from many people on the outside who have said that. And you can look up those articles. I've seen them on CBS Sports. I've seen them on SB Nation sites. I've seen them on all kinds of other things. But then, selfishly, I went to Miami. I was there for the glory days from 2004, and it would be great to get back to that. So, you want to be successful. You want to see that happen. And hopefully the Miami Hurricanes take that step forward this year where we then, again, are part of the national conversation and remind people that this is a legacy program that you need to be aware of.
To your point, Cam, going through 2010, so the 5 previous seasons through 2010, the Coastal winner had a higher ranking in the national rankings than the 4 out of 5 years, higher ranking than the Atlantic winner, and won the game 4 out of 5 years. So, yeah, things can swing, although Florida State and Clemson seem pretty secure as elite teams currently in college football.